Hi, I'm Srija. I'm from CSD C section department. Today our topic is about Java records on the subject of programming with objects. Hmm. So let's get into our slides to know more about our Java records. So in our first slide we have introduction to Java records. Java records were introduced in Java 14 as a way to simplify the creation of immutable data classes. Records provide a concise syntax for declaring classes that mainly act as containers for data. The primary goal of records is to reduce boilerplate code and improve code readability. So this is the introduction to our Java records. Let's get into our next slides. So in our second slide we have syntax and declaration. Records are declared using the record keyword followed by the name of the record class. The class body consists of only of field declarations and automatically generated methods. Records can also include constructors, static methods and static fields. So these are our syntax and declaration of Java records. So our next slide is about record components. Each field declaration in a record is called a record component. Record components define the state of the record and are used to generate the constructor equals hash code and toString methods. Record components are automatically assigned to the constructor parameters and can be accessed using the getter methods. So in this slide we have about record components, and in our next slide we have the information about immutable by default. Records are immutable by default, meaning their fields cannot be modified after initialization. The fields of a record are automatically made private and final. Records provide getter methods for each field, allowing access to the data without the need for explicit getter methods. So coming to our next slide, we have about equals and hash code. Records automatically generate the equals and hash code methods based on the record components. The equals method compares the values of each record component to determine equality. The hash code method generates a hash code based on the record components values. So in Java records we have two records, that is equals and hash code. Equals method for equality and hash code method is for record components values. So let's enter into our next slide. ToString. Records generate a ToString method that provides a concise representation of the record state. The generated ToString method includes the class name and the values of each record component. You can customize the output format of the generated ToString method using the @ToString annotation. So this is about the two-string method, and next slide is about inheritance and interfaces. Records can extend other classes and implement interfaces. When a record extends a class, it inherits its fields and methods. When a record implements an interface, it must provide implementations for all the interfaces methods. So this is about the inheritance and interfaces, and our next slide is about local records. Java records can also be declared locally within a method or a block. Local records follow the same syntax and rules as regular records but have a limited scope. Local records are useful for encapsulating data within a specific context. Now, Java records introduced as a preview feature in Java 14 and finalized in Java 16 act as transparent carriers for immutable data. Conceptually, records can be thought of as tuples that are uh, already available via third party libraries. Though records are built in type in Java, so they provide a more extended use and compatibility with other features in Java, such as pattern matching with instance of and switch case. Now, generally, what is a record? Like enum, a record is also a special class type in Java. Records are intended to be used in places where a class is created only to act as a plain data carrier. The important difference between class and record is that a record aims to eliminate all the boilerplate code needed to set and get the data from the instance. Records transfer this responsibility to the Java compiler, which generates the constructor, field getters, hash code, and equals, as well as two string methods. Now, let me see about how to create a record. We need to use the keyword record to create such record class in Java. Just like we do in constructors, we need to mention the attributes and their types in the record. We have one example as employee is a record type and is used to hold employee information. To create a record, we call its constructor and pass all the field information in it. We can then get the record information using JVM generated getter methods and call any of generated methods. Now let me see about limitations. Records cannot be abstract or explicitly extend any class other than java.lang.record. Records cannot define instance fields or instance initializers. Records cannot be used as superclass or have subclass defined within the same compilation unit. So these are the three limitations in our slide we have. These are the limitations. So let's enter into our next slide. Now, the conclusion. Java records provide a concise and efficient way to define immutable data classes. They reduce boilerplate code, improve code readability, and enhance the overall development experience. With their automatic generation of methods, records simplify the handling of data and improve maintainability. I hope you got a clear and clear information about the Java records. This is a conclusion slide. So I hope you understand everything. So thank you.